You can let them external boxes over 60 points. There were 60 points, 92 points.
All right. So like I said, yesterday we started off with this ACT review stuff. Our final exam is ACT practice test kind of thing. 20 questions, multiple choice. It can only raise your grade. So if it's an opportunity to get your grade what you want it to be, it can count like a final exam. So it's 20% of your grade. It'll be factored in. And if you probably, depending on if you do good or not on it, looking at like a letter grade up. So if you have a B, bring it up to an A. If you have a C, it can bring it up to a B, things like that. So it's an opportunity to get the grade you want to get. If you have a grade in the mid 50s, it could bring you up to passing. So first priority is getting the stuff done that you haven't done, getting those zeros taken care of on the 36 weeks. And then the second priority is getting ready for this test. It'll open up on Friday morning, and you'll have until Tuesday at the end of the day to finish it. So you have a long time to work on it. Very flexible time. If you want to come into class on Friday or Tuesday and do it, that's cool. If you want to stay at home Friday and Tuesday and work on it, we don't have anything else going on those days. So today and tomorrow we're going to be doing this, but Friday it's just your test. There's nothing else to do. If you want to stay at home to do that, that's completely fine. If you want to come in and have me help you go through it, I'll be glad to do that as well. Okay, so let's rock and roll. Same thing we did yesterday. I'm going to do passage 3 with you, and then you can do passage 4 on your own. You turn this in. The way I set it up is that each day's practice counts as a different type of grade. Yesterday's practice counted as a participation grade. So if you did it, you'll get 100 participation grade. Today's practice counts as a quiz grade or a classwork grade. So if you do it, you'll get 100 classwork grade. And tomorrow's practice is going to count as a test grade. If you do it, you get 100 test grade. So it's a lot of opportunity for a lot of good credit over these 3 days. I'm not putting a grade in unless you do it. So I'm not giving out zeros.
I got another question. So if the test is coming on Friday, it's Friday?
Test opens Friday.
So do we have, if we come to school, do we have to do it?
You're trying to say here though. Nobody else makes it.
I mean,
I don't have anything planned. You have the time to do the test. I'm here to help you.
Are
If
all
you
of
do-
our tests?
If you don't take the final, it's fine.
Are all these tests gonna be Friday?
But
I know life says.
Non-EOC and CTE tests are Friday. So-
Which don't come Friday. You don't need to take that.
Now, unless you want to take the test with your teacher and have them to help you if you need that. But as long as you're not taking math 1, math 3, English 2, I believe, biology, which obviously you are in this, or any CTE course. So all of your extra CTE courses, those are during exam week. All right, so let's rock and roll. One of the things we talked about yesterday is don't read the words. So we hit this passage 3. Don't worry about all that mess there, okay? So if you look at this, this is the type of passage that you want to hit when you take the ACT. Not many words and a big old beautiful chart with lots of different numbers, okay? Now, look at this chart here. Okay, you don't need to know this stuff, but you can just really quickly look at this chart and figure out some things. What do you think D stands for? With M. Distance measured in meters. Excellent. T with degrees C.
Temperature.
Temperature, degrees Celsius. V. No,
Base.
because the formula is M over sec. Meters per second. Yeah. Meters per second is how you measure it. Well, what is V?
V is what it is.
It's a word we hadn't talked about in chemistry class. You'll talk about it when you get to physics class. You don't even need to know it to answer these questions, but just kind of for us, for our use. Has to do with speed, but it's not speed.
Velocity.
Velocity. Okay. Anybody know the difference?
Speed is how fast you're going. Velocity is how
I thought we
fast
said
you
feet.
get going.
I
It's
thought we
like
said-
Not really. No.
speed is like isn't speed constant?
Nope.
thought we said it was a B.
Velocity is like
You
you
said
drop
V?
something.
V-
at a high
V,
You
velocity.
said B. I was
V is in Victor. Okay.
So it'd be a fast one.
No, speed and velocity it's kind of like weight and mass. Weight and mass are the same as long as you're on Earth. Okay, weight's a measure of gravity. Mass is a measure of how much matter you have.
So you would have
Speed
here.
is how fast you're going. Velocity is how fast you're going in a specific direction. Okay, so if I run in a circle, you have a certain speed, but your velocity is always changing, because you're always changing direction. Whereas speed stays the same. If you run in a straight line, your speed and your velocity are the same thing.
Isn't it like the Voyager one spacecraft is on a straight line and the velocity is like super high?
Rock and roll, sure. Okay, F measured in N, which is newtons.
Force.
Very good, force. So we have four different things here. First thing I'm going to notice is which one do you think is being measured? Look at the numbers there. Which one of those four things do you think is what they're measuring? Nope.
It's going down.
There's one of those four measurements that the numbers look different than the other three. They have something, the other three have something in common that the fourth one does not have. Why?
because they're not like whole, like they're not complete decimals. They have stuff behind them.
Okay, I buy that.
And they're not all like the same. They're not all the same. Like
What do you say? Okay, some of them do give you 0.2, that's true. Okay, the big thing is, very, very good. The big thing is, if you look here, you keep it at 0.2 for a lot. Temperature, you keep it 25 for a lot.
it's not something that ever changes.
Velocity, you're keeping it at 20 for a lot. Force is decimal, but it's every single answer is different. That's what they're looking for, and this is what they change. And if you look at these different groupings, the top grouping, the only thing they changed was distance. The middle grouping, the only thing they changed was temperature. And then the bottom grouping, the only thing they changed was velocity. So I just spent a lot of time talking about that. If this was the real test, you look at this, you say there's numbers, and you say what I'm getting is force. Let's go. Make sense? So you spend about 5 seconds, don't read. There's a chart. I got a bunch of different things. Force is what I'm getting. Okay? So let's look at the first question. Number 13 says, according to combinations 5 through 8, okay, right off the bat, according to combinations 5 through 8, the only thing I care about is right there, that middle part of the chart. According to combinations 5 through 8, as temperature increases, force 15.8, 15.5, 15.1, 14.9 decreases. Increases only? No. Decreases only? Yes. You bubble it, you roll. That's another thing about ACT. Now, for your test this week, once again, you have plenty of time. But when it's the real ACT, it's all about time. When you hit an answer that you know is the answer, you bubble it, you roll. Don't say, well, I got to make sure they didn't trick me. ACT is not about tricking you. ACT is about finding the answer, bubble it, and go. If it's multiple choice and you say A is wrong, B is wrong, C is wrong, bubble D and go. Don't even read it. Make sense? Now for Friday, obviously you got plenty of time, so make sure you got the answer. But for the real ACT, it's all about speed. Number 14, based on combinations 9 through 12, I'm only looking at the bottom. The relationship between force and velocity is best represented by which of the following graphs. Look at what happened. Velocity goes up, force goes up. So I expect the line to be shaped with both things going up. Are both things going up? Nope. Are both things going up? Nope. So it's either going to be that one or that one. So let's look at what happens. Velocity goes up consistently, 10, 20, 30, 40. Does force go up consistently? 3, 15, 34, 60.
So it's going up like
It's going up a little bit more each time. What's the answer? Let's go. Now, have we talked? Do you have to know this stuff to answer these questions? That's the point I'm trying to get. That's if we only learn one thing from this week of chemistry, let it be that you don't have to know science to do good on ACT science. Okay? Rolling on, looking at number 15. Based on the table, F will be greatest for which of the following D, T, and V. Now, let's look at D, T, and V here. 1 through 4, D goes up, F goes up. 5, 6, 7, 8, T goes up, F goes down. And then we already said when V goes up, F goes up. So we want a high D or a low D to have a high F. Because that's what we want, right? The greatest F. Would we want a big D or a little d? A big one. Okay, would you want a big T or a little t? Look what we got. As you get bigger, the number goes down. So you'd want a number that is, if you to get the biggest F, you want to want the what T? The lowest T. And then finally, the highest F, V. So you want the largest D, the smallest T, and the highest V. Let's look over here. D is 0.4, 0.8. I want the big one, so it's C or D. So get rid of A and B. I want the small one, so it's 30. And I want the big one, so it's 200. D, we roll. That's it. Number 16, if experimental trials were conducted in which combinations 1 through 4 was tested, which would be independent variable and which would be dependent variable. Okay, we fit the first time that you need to know what a word means. Independent variable and dependent variable. The easiest way to remember it is the dependent variable is dependent upon the experiment for happening. You have to see the experiment happen to get the dependent variable. It's dependent upon the experiment. So that's what you're getting, not what you're putting in. We've already talked about this. What are we measuring? What are you getting out of this experiment? Which of those letters? F. Force is my dependent variable. There it is. Put the answer, roll on. Okay? We talked about way back at the beginning of the year, we talked about if you jump off the roof, then you will fly. Anybody remember that? You remember that, Ashley? It was like way about the second week of this class. If you jump off the roof, then you will fly. The dependent variable is whether or not you flew. The independent variable is whether or not you jumped. What you do, what the experimenter does is independent, and what you get out of the experiment is dependent. We got one more for today. Yep, one more for today. Now, Mr. Salibi was talking to me about this question earlier today, because Mr. Salibi teaches chemistry or physics. And he said that the way he thought about it is you need physics to answer this question. But let's see if we can prove him wrong. Because nobody in here has had physics before. So let's see if we can prove Mr. Salibi wrong, and let's see if we can figure this question out. Because I'll be honest with you, if you skip the question, this is the one. Look at it. There ain't no numbers. It's a lot of words. Holy moly. Okay? But let's see if we can make it make sense. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. See if I can zoom in a little bit. And I'll zoom in. There we go. All right. Now, first off, you don't need to know anything. The question has nothing, the passage has nothing to do with this question. It's like it kind of leads into it, but you can answer this question without having anything to do with the passage. As a sphere moves as described in the passage, a sphere is moving. A sphere is moving is a fancy way to say what? Well, it could be rolling, it could be falling. A sphere is this guy right here. You know, as a sphere moves, bam, I just did it. Make sense? It's a complicated way to say something simple. A transformation of energy takes place. You had one type of energy, now we have another type of energy. Involving kinetic energy. What is kinetic energy? Motion. Potential energy due to Earth's gravity. Energy due to gravity, right? We got that. Piece of cake. Okay? And heat. What is heat? Friction, how fast the particles are moving. Piece of cake. Which of the following statements best describes this transformation? So we got a sphere moving through space. Okay, we're changing these three different types of energy. We have gravity, we have energy of motion, and we have heat. So what gets converted to what? Okay, A says gravity and heat gets converted to kinetic energy. Can gravity get converted to kinetic energy? Give me an example. A ball rolling down the hill. Me doing this. The potential energy of gravity got converted into kinetic energy while it fell off of the table. It didn't just fall over, it fell all the way to the floor because of the potential energy of gravity. Now, what about heat? So we know gravity is getting converted into kinetic energy. We know B is ridiculous because you're not converting things into gravity. That's silly. Make sense? C, gravity is converted to kinetic energy and heat, and D, heat is converted to gravity and kinetic energy. So let's get rid of B and D. And the question is, where is the heat coming from? Is the heat making this thing move, or is the gravity creating heat?
Gravity's creating heat by because of the resistance.
Piece of cake, buddy. What's the answer? Gravity is converted into kinetic energy and heat. See, very good, very good.
Just like,
Okay.
wait, an object's moving through space has
No. Now make sure we said. I said objects moving through space. I said that, and if I said that, I meant literal space, not literal space.
Oh, you're talking about like going through the Earth, like on Earth's surface.
If we got gravity, we're on Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, rock and roll. Good call there. Good call there. Right?
Space, there's nothing to touch.
Absolutely. Gravity, potential energy is being converted into kinetic energy and heat. Very, very good. How we feel? All right. You got another passage to do. Let me know if you have any questions on anything. I'll be glad to help you. Once again, knock that out. Be ready to rock and roll. Matthew, good to join us, buddy. You got any questions or anything? About to shut it down. I'll post this video in full in a bit. He ain't trying to unmute himself. He got no love for the haters. Oh, we got a chat. Hold up.
Hello.
Hey there, Matthew, buddy.
Hey, I won't be there till after Christmas break because I have COVID.
Oh Lord. I got the email about it.
Huh? You got COVID.
All right, calm down, Matthew.
All
All right, you got any questions? Look, I'm about to post this video. Just keep up with everything. If you have any questions, just shoot me an email, okay, buddy?
Okay, I'm about to do the other passage.
Yeah, you doing okay?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
That's good, buddy. If you need anything, you shoot me an email.
All right.
Bye-bye.